Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Riverside Christian School found a new home after their school was badly damaged by 2 floods. And the Challenger Learning Center gets an exciting new addition to the existing exhibits.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is 6 o'clock on August 17th. Now let's check in with Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning. And we're starting out the morning with some fog, Brandon. You have your nap time socks on, but I think sunshine's on the way.
If you weren't watching a little earlier, you missed that.
You did.
She was asking me earlier if I had like cloud socks or some kind of weather socks on. No, today it's Snoopy, and I like naps is what mine naps.
Brandon's socks are always a surprise.
Exactly. You just never know.
I might have to try that.
Exactly. See, it's all, you got to have some fun. You got to keep it interesting.
Of course.
All right, let's get into the forecast this morning. The fog thick and dense out there. Watch out for the school buses. Watch out for each other. Again, it's changing conditions literally on air. Zero visibility. Ashland, Logan, Moorhead, Pikeville, Hazard, Somerset, Williamsburg, Jacksboro, and we know London and Prestonsburg down to 0. So again, rapidly changing conditions out there, so be extra careful. Jenkins, not too bad, going up the mountain into southwest Virginia this morning, but I bet you if you go down into the valley there, it'll be pretty tough at times. 63 Harlan, looks like there's a big surge of warm air right there around Harlan this morning, but you got 59 in Hazard, 61 Prestonsburg, Jackson, Somerset, and Williamsburg, 61 also in Jacksboro, 65 in Monticello, 57 Clintwood, and 55 the cool spot in Wise. Today, breaking it down, we're looking at 84 for a daytime high, mix of sun and clouds. More clouds late because of the simple fact I do think we have a weak cold front coming in tonight, and that will be our best chance for rain in the next 7 days. Olivia?
Brandon, thank you. 2 floods in less than 2 years devastated Riverside Christian School in Breathitt County, but recently they purchased the old Marie Roberts Elementary School building to get away from the high water threat. Yesterday I was there for their first day of school. A day filled with faith as Riverside Christian students and staff began their first day of school.
Today for me represents hope and a long time of anticipation. And it's freeing. You can just feel the Holy Spirit, which it just feels right and it feels good.
Walking into a new building at a new location. This first day of school looked much different than it has since the school opened in 1905. And Becky Baker has taught at the school for more than 30 years, saying this new beginning is necessary.
We couldn't go through another flood like we went through 2 years in a row. So I'm just excited that we have a nice new building, a lot of room, and hopefully we'll start filling it up with even more students.
And Toby Noble, who also teaches at the school, says their move to higher ground provides a safer place for every student for generations to come.
But I'm just very excited that our students can feel safe and not have to worry about it when it rains, you know, because they definitely have anxiety about that sometimes. So,
leaving behind the fear and the floodplain, because it was never the building that made the Riverside Rams who they are today.
It's the people. It's not the building. It's not that, which I love the building on lower campus where I spent most of my teaching. But it's the people, it's the teachers who care for each other and for the students.
It's the people who will make it home for the next 100 years. Riverside Christian School staff purchased the building from Breathitt County Schools, and the staff says the school building is still a work in progress and they are actively working to finish up the final touches to make it their own. The Kentucky State Police Cadet Class 103 will soon start their careers as troopers. For their class project, they decided to raise more than $10,000 for Sergeant Jared Boggs' family. Sergeant Boggs died last month and served for nearly 20 years at KSP Post 10 in Harlan. His wife Angie says it means a lot to have the support from KSP and beyond.
I just know from the past, whenever anyone had passed before, how serious that Jared took that and how they all just kind of take care of each other and take care of family. And I've felt like they've just all looked out for us through this entire thing. It's really been a blessing to have the support.
Boggs says it means a lot that this new class thought of her and her family and raised the money in just a few weeks. The Challenger Learning Center is getting a brand new exhibit in late September. The exhibit will be called Moon, Mars, and Beyond. It will showcase a 1/10 scale model rocket, multiple functioning robot arms, and more. WYMT's Madison Carmouche spoke with officials at the center about what this new exhibit means for young folks in the mountains.
NASA's Artemis mission is inspiring a new exhibit at the Challenger Learning Center, including a replica of the rocket they will use on the mission.
SLS is 320 feet tall, and we will have a 1/10 scale model, which means it will be 32 feet tall right here in our exhibit area for the new Moon, Mars, and Beyond exhibit.
The goal of the exhibit is to make visitors feel like they are truly in space.
What we do as a rule is to take a scientific concept and sort of charge it with a little bit of a magical persona. You want to not only tell the story that you could see in a textbook, you want to bring it out into something tangible that people can actually really jump into and see react to them.
Siegel has helped to create exhibits at the Space and Rocket Center, Johnson Space Center, and now the Challenger Learning Center.
But the main thing is take something that you love and you want to share with others and figure out how to explain it in a fascinating, engaging, exciting way. So we design these things. We try to optimize how they can relate to children, families. We like the idea of having something that gets a whole family involved.
The center says they want to help give kids in the region unique STEM experiences that could transform how they think.
We've had this role to play for the last almost 25 years, and we hope to be doing it for well into the future as well.
In Perry County, Madison Carmouche, WYMT Mountain News.
The Challenger Learning Center has been working to inspire, educate, and motivate people in the region for almost 25 years. One county in southern Kentucky experienced its biggest year ever for tourism in 2022. WYMT's Keaton Hall has more on the impact that tourism has in Pulaski County.
$144 million. That's how much tourism brought to Pulaski County last year. Lake Cumberland is consistently the biggest draw, but not the only one.
We get 4 million visitors a year, but what's changing is our downtown, honestly. So our downtown has gone through a great revitalization since 2019.
Michelle Allen, the executive director of Lake Cumberland Tourism, says 2022 was the biggest year they've ever had.
When you have people that believe in the industry, it makes things happen. Anywhere from our county to our city working together with our economic development called SPEDA working together, from the county tourism office to the city tourism office, all collaborating together, it just makes things work.
Tourism in the county reportedly bringing in more than 1,100 jobs last year alone.
So you've got more part-timers that need to be hired, full-timers that need to be hired, but then our restaurants, all those things that are incorporated into tourism is in Somerset, Pulaski County, and we need people to fill those positions.
And visitors paying taxes helps lower taxes for folks actually living in Pulaski County.
So those tourists leave behind dollars. And if we didn't have them, each household would have to pay an extra $419 in taxes. So when anybody is complaining about us having a big festival because the traffic is crazy, or for our lovely visitors from Ohio that come to Lake Cumberland, I want to say, but they're saving you money and making you money.
Across the state, tourism brought in nearly $13 billion last year. In Somerset, Keaton Hall, WYMT Mountain News.
And even though summer is winding down, Allen says they still have several events coming up, including the Moonlight Festival in October and a New Year's Eve festival.
6:09. I was actually going to show you one of the speed cameras we actually have in Pulaski County to kind of follow along with that SOT, but they're both, I have to refresh them. So we'll show you the beautiful scene up on top of Buffalo Mountain this morning. Look at that. A blanket of fog, temperatures in the upper 50s, and that light in the sky, even though it's not changed over to daytime mode yet, that is the sun coming up. So we'll be seeing that beautiful scene here in just a few minutes. Temperatures out there, 59 Hazard, 55 Wise, 57 Clintwood, 61 Somerset, Williamsburg, Jacksboro, Jackson, Prestonsburg, Logan, and Moorhead. All right. Day planner, sunshine, looking at temperatures climbing quickly into the low to mid 80s. Few clouds late as we see a weak cold front come into play tonight, which will be our next best chance for rain, and it's not great in the next week or so. Olivia?
Thank you, Brandon, and thanks for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up, former Vice President Mike Pence spoke publicly yesterday about the Georgia indictment against former President Trump.